All set?
Yes.
Okay. Please state and spell your full legal name.
My name's Robert Mercado, Jr., ROBERTMERCADO.
Please raise your right hand and I'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you give today shall be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please proceed.
Can you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name's Robert Mercado.
Did you know Michael Shaver?
Yes.
How did you know Michael?
We first met at work in our apprenticeship, mechanical apprenticeship, and from there on we hit it off.
When you talk about your apprenticeship at work, where did you?
At Walt Disney World.
And were you guys going through the apprenticeship at the same time?
We ended up at the same location. He was a year ahead of me.
How long is that apprenticeship?
It's a 4-year apprenticeship.
Now, through Michael Shaver, did you ever meet his wife, Laurie Shaver?
Yes.
And did you ever go over to their house to visit or socialize?
Yes, multiple times.
And in November of 2015, what kind of vehicle did you have?
I had a gray Explorer.
And in November of 2015, did you ever go pick Michael Shaver up from his home and take him anywhere so he could leave his family?
No.
Did you ever take him to Georgia and drop him off anywhere up there?
No.
Going back to November 2015, did you have any upcoming plans with Michael Shaver for later in the month?
Yes, we were planning on having Thanksgiving together.
And when you talk about having Thanksgiving together, who all was involved with that Thanksgiving?
It was going to be his and my family at his house.
And so when you talk about his and your family, would that include Laurie and his children?
Yes.
And did you have children?
Yes.
How old were your children in comparison to his?
Older. Mine are a lot older than his.
When was the last time that you physically saw or spoke in person to Michael Shaver?
It was at least a month before we were making plans for Thanksgiving.
Did you ever receive any contact about those Thanksgiving plans, either canceling it or doing anything with those plans?
Yes, I messaged him multiple times a couple weeks before just to solidify the event, and after that, he just texted me back saying that we were canceling it.
Was there anything unusual about your correspondence with him about that event after November 10th of 2015?
Yeah, he kind of just stopped talking to me and said he wanted to be left alone.
Was that out of character for him?
Absolutely.
And have you spoken on the phone, or any contact that you can verify was in fact from Michael Shaver since November of 2015?
No.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, Mr. Wiggs?
Yes. Mr. Mercado, did you ever go over there, transport Mr. Shaver to or from the residence?
Yes.
Okay. What was that regarding?
Depends, really. Which time you...
Was there more than one time?
Yeah, I used to go over there all the time.
Was there any time that you removed any goods of his, any items of clothing with him when he was leaving the residence?
The one time I picked him up from court and took him to his residence.
To obtain some things?
Yeah, to pick up his...
Okay. And were you there at any time when there was any violence between Mr. Shaver and Miss Shaver?
Yes.
Okay. So you witnessed that?
Yes.
And there was a 911 call, correct?
Not at that time, no.
Okay. Did you have to get between Mr. Shaver?
I had to get between both of them.
Okay. When Mr. Shaver left the residence, do you know where he resided?
I took him home with me that night, and then the following day he stayed at the Warbirds Museum hangar for roughly the better part of a year after that.
Okay. Did you witness any homicide in this case?
No, sir.
You know what Mr. Shaver was doing 24 hours before his death?
No, sir.
Do you know who was present with Mr. Shaver? Shaver
No.
24 hours before his death?
No, I do not.
One moment, please, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Some of his stuff so he can leave the residence. And while he was doing that, I started to hear arguments, and they started fighting, just arguments. And at that time, when I walked in, I noticed that she had a gun in her hand, and she was waving it around, saying she was going to hurt herself. So I separated them, removed the weapon from the area, consoled her and tried to calm her down while he got the rest of his stuff, and then we left.
So when you're referring to some violence that you've observed between them, you never saw Michael Shaver touch or strike Miss Shaver in any way?
No, he would never.
The only thing that you saw was Miss Shaver brandishing a weapon and making threats.
Yes.
Nothing further.
Mr. Wiggs?
Was 911 called?
Not that I'm aware of at that time, no.
Okay. Did you see anything happen to Mr. Shaver?
Not that night.
Okay, Mr. Shaver was acting aggressive on that night, correct?
They both were.
They both were, okay? And Mr. Shaver's the one that left the residence, correct?
Yes, I took him with me, yes.
Out of his necessity because of his act of violence, correct?
It was for the betterment of both of them that he left.
He left by law, correct?
Not that night, no.
Not that night, it was a different night?
It was the previous night.
I see, okay. And you came to retrieve his belongings with him, correct?
Yes.
And he was acting violent at that time,
No, he was not.
okay? You just stated you got in between the two of them
Yes.
because they were acting violent, correct?
While he was trying to retrieve his stuff, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing further.
All right. And may the witness be released from his subpoena.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for testifying here today. You're released from any further testimony. Thank you and have a good day.
State calls Corey Lutzow.
Good morning. Please come up to the witness stand. Please make yourself